Thank you. I thought about being asked to come here. These types of things didn't exist when I was going through the process, and I thought, well, now it's important that I do come here because I have literally seen every step of the way, from a player to a coach to a parent through the U.S. college process. But I'm going to start by telling you mine, which is fairly ridiculous. I was one of the smallest players every year growing up playing hockey. And I was playing at a time when the Philadelphia Flyers and the Boston Bruins were beating everybody up physically. And I would get cut from teams because I was too small. Had a late growth spurt and did what you now call a victory lap, I believe, after high school. So I stayed for a year. I graduated early. I stayed for a year and played 1 year at Tier 2 hockey. I walked in the locker room one day. We had a great player in our team. He's being recruited by all the U.S. colleges. We knew nothing about the system. He got a letter from the University of Notre Dame and a big gold ND in the corner. I said, "Are you going to use that?" He said, no, I'm going to Michigan State. I said, "Can I have that letter?" He said, "Sure." So I took that letter and that information sheet, and I wrote a beautiful cover letter that said, "Thank you for your interest in me as a hockey player." They had no idea who I was. I started the process. I didn't know I was starting the process, but I started the process. To every student out there, this is about you. And your parents are here today, but this is about you taking charge. I was raised basically by a single father, didn't have a high school education, very successful in business. I had no guidance. No one else in my family had gone to college. This was about me. So now I had an information sheet, and I actually got a letter back from Notre Dame. So when the next school called, they said, "Are you talking to anybody?" I said, "Oh, Notre Dame's very interested." I was starting the ball rolling. And then I had Cornell, and then I had Clarkson, then I had Harvard, then I had BU. And it all started because I initiated it. It's up to you to start things. You have to do the homework, and I'm talking to the students here. You can go online now. You can look at schools. You can figure things out. You have access to days like today that we did not have. We absolutely didn't. So I went through the process as a student athlete. I viewed it as an NHL player. I was very fortunate. I played, and that was sort of the same type of thing. I didn't go to the University of Notre Dame to be an NHL player. I went because it offered the best opportunity. And you were allowed 6 recruiting trips at the time. I went to Notre Dame first. I called home. I said to my dad, "I'm coming to school here." Just as Becky had a feeling when she walked on the campus at Brown, I had a feeling when I walked on the campus at Notre Dame. If you have an opportunity, get to schools. Visit them. Put your foot on the campus. And flashing forward, I went through the process as a father. Now picture the difficulty in my oldest 2, identical twins, applying to universities. Are they going to apply to the same schools? Are they going to get into the same schools? Are they going to go to the same schools? And I did the same thing with them that I did. I took them on 6 different universities. I let them pick the schools, and we visited. And fortunately for me, and I say fortunately, my twins chose the same school. Undergrad. So I've had 2 go to the University of Notre Dame. My youngest, who grew up at the University of Notre Dame, chose not to go there, of course. And I've now got 2 through graduate school and 1 finishing graduate school. So I've seen the different realms of it. I know how hard it is. I know what a challenge it is. I played for 13 years in the NHL, very blessed career. In my 13th year, I was playing for the Washington Capitals, so I was 8 years in Philadelphia, Stanley Cup Finals 3 times. 3 times I stood at the other end of the rink and watched the other team skate around with the Stanley Cup. I know what that's like. For those of you old enough to remember, number 99 on Edmonton's a really good player. And I was in my 13th year with Washington Capitals, and I got a call from Notre Dame about coming back. Totally unexpected. I went back, I worked as a head coach for 10 years. Another piece of what I can tell you. I recruited kids to go to universities. I know everybody doesn't fit everywhere. That's a given. I know that. I recruited kids, and I would literally tell them, I don't think you're a great fit at Notre Dame, and here's why. There are so many different choices out there, without a doubt. I worked in development for 2 years, raising money for the university. I saw another side of it. I saw another side of that walk. And how many are student athletes in this group, or potential student athletes? Are there a handful in here? So you're looking at it two different ways. I would speak to you for a second. Do not pick a university just because of the sport. Do not pick it just because of the coach. That coach could be gone. Pick it because it's the best fit for you all the way around. Choose it for those reasons. Where I am today, I am so blessed because I went to the University of Notre Dame. I learned how to learn. It has taken me to places I never thought I would go. I have reinvented myself a number of times. For those of you that are sports fans, I'm on TSN now. I'll be on about 10 o'clock tonight at some point. I've got to go to work shortly. As a hockey analyst, I've worked on Wall Street for 7 years. I worked in private industry. I coached at the university level, and it's all because of the opportunity I had. But it was really because I was fortunate enough to take charge. And when I walked back into my high school guidance counselor, and I had a stack of letters from universities, and he looked at me and he said, "You can't go to any of those schools." I said, "Actually, I can go to any of those schools." Because I had taken charge initially and made that first contact. So this is the first job that you have as a student athlete or as a student. The first job you have is to take charge, go get the information, work with your parents, be reasonable, but it's up to you. This is your life. This is your standard. Please take charge of it. I'm going to be around for a little bit to answer questions after. Thanks very much.